Good morning and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Charlotte. My name is Jerry and I have the honor of being your host today. If this is your first time, we are delighted that you have chosen to join us today. With modern technology, we are extremely grateful for the opportunity to touch so many lives, especially through Zoom and Facebook. Please feel free to visit our website, cslcharlotte.org, put in a prayer request, and subscribe. We add our recordings to our website each week. The Center for Spiritual Living Charlotte is a new thought community living an ancient wisdom, philosophy based on the science of mind. This science of mind philosophy was developed in the early 20th century by writer and lecturer Ernest Holmes. Dr. Holmes was a man on a mission. He studied truths from all of the world's religious traditions and spiritual paths. Holmes developed a fresh new way for us to look at ourselves and how to fit into our world. At CSL Charlotte, every philosophy is honored, along with every race, sexual orientation, and physical distinctions. This is a diverse, open, and affirming community. There are many paths to the divine. We can call it God, peace, love, or spirit. It doesn't matter what you call it, that is totally your decision. You don't have to leave your philosophy or nature of knowledge. You can join us anytime. We recognize and refer to many holy scriptures such as the Bible, the Quran, and Torah, and just to name a few. Our vision statement is to continue a spiritual community creating and preparing a succession of future leaders who can fully integrate, teach, and expose the science of mind principles, messages, and practices that strengthen the mind, body, and spirit of individuals. One of our aims is to create a high collective consciousness for everyone in the community. We teach everyone the tools to do just that. So come and join us as we meet each Tuesday evening at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. So welcome everyone and enjoy our service as we celebrate this powerful being which lives within each and every one of us. So now I'll pass the mic over to our illustrious spiritual leader, Reverend Rosedale.
Well, good morning, world, and afternoon, or wherever you are in the world. Also, you may be on Zoom, on YouTube right now, listening to us that we recorded today, and you could be listening tomorrow, Monday. But wherever you are and you're listening, just leave a chat in the box below, and just let us know that you're here. So, with that being said, thank you, Groovy. Now, that is Jerry Campbell, and she is called Groovy G because that's her favorite word. So, with that said, everybody, welcome to CSL Charlotte. This is the Mind, Body, Spirit Center. So, whatever we do, the first thing we do at CSL Charlotte is we open our service with a prayer. But I want to talk about another group. Last week we talked about the Latino they had last month as the celebration. We celebrate with every nationality. So now we're celebrating Hindu heritage. Now, this month is Hindu heritage, and we celebrate them for their deep and spiritual culture, and the principles that they go by is the same as ours. Hinduism teaches us the importance of harmony in all life, meaning the animals, the trees, the nature, everything. And so it also focuses us into our inner journey, which we'll be talking about the healing journey today. And this helps us to discover our true nature and interconnectedness with all beings. You'll hear me talk about how we're all interconnected. So the first thing we're going to do before we open up and talk about the healing journey is open it up with an affirmative prayer. And my dear friend, my sweet friend, who's been my friend for years since, whoa, I mean, early 2013, maybe before that. And this is Dr. Wanda, and she's going to open us up with prayer today, and she is going to get us started to set the tone. So, when you decide that you would like to get a prayer request, Maureen Thurston, Mo, is the one that's going to send you that prayer request. And say you want one, and you say, I would like to know more about the healing journey, or I would like to be open, whatever today's talk is about, then you would send in your prayer request and Mo will send it back to you. So, that being said, um, Dr. Wanda, please go ahead and get us started.
Good morning, everyone. It's my pleasure and joy to be here this morning with you at CSL Charlotte. I'm always filled with joy when I know that I get to participate in the service at CSL Charlotte. It is such an honor. And I say that because I know right here and right now that there is a power and a presence in this universe that is omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent. It is everywhere present. It is the very air that we breathe in. It is the thing that connects us. It is that glue that makes us that one unified body that is the body of light in this world today. And right here, right now, what I believe, what I know at the core of my heart, that each and every person who shows up here today, on time, in divine right timing, is here for a reason. And I know that we came into this world for a reason. And we're on the job. Someone mentioned today about retiring. There's no retiring. We are on the job. And that job is to be joyful and happy and free and loving and kind and wise, to use our words wisely. And today we are going to hear the wisdom of the divine as it passes through, as in Reverend Rosedale, because I know that she always empties herself and becomes a vessel for that divine spirit to move through here each and every Sunday. Every time she speaks, wherever she is, I know that she is divinely inspired and divinely chosen. As each and every one of us has been chosen to be here this morning, we were chosen to be on this planet. And I know that today we are the fullest expression of the love that God is right here and right now. And so, with that, I just give thanks. And I give thanks to all who've co created this safe space for us to come to and tap into and plug into and get recharged. So, today we are energized, we are charged, we are enlightened, we are empowered, and we embrace the love that is here today. And with that, I simply say, and so it is.
Whoa, that was very, very powerful, Dr. Wanda. Thank you. And it's so amazing how all my thoughts, you bring them out in your mouth. It's like I was talking to you in that thing I've talked to you about. Well, we're going to be talking about that today. There's a thing that we're all connected to, and for some reason, you're just pulling my thoughts out today, like you always do. So, next on our platform is our reader, and that's Horace the Bush. He's our operations coordinator. He makes the thing run like a smooth machine here. Everybody knows what they're doing because he's got everybody understood where we're going and all that good stuff. So every week we know what we're doing because he's got everything done. But here's another good thing about him, and according to our talk, I know that he knows what the healing journey is about because I've witnessed him in his healing journey several times. And I've known Horace way back, way before 2000. And so this has been a long journey for him. So believe me, I've known his journey. So listen to his reading today, and you'll hear the healing journey for yourself. And then, after Horace's reading, listen to the song In the Silence by Jack Fowler. And you're going to prepare yourself to travel through the healing journey by beginning with his one song. Horace, make it do what it do.
Thank you so much, Reverend Rosedale. I am honored and delighted to share this reading with you, which is entitled Unprocessed Emotions and the Body by our own Reverend Rosedale Jones. So, allow yourself to take a deep breath and fully take in what I'm about to share with you right now. There are many concepts and practices rooted in both spiritual science and somatic sciences. The mind body spirit connection in somatic terms is a concept embraced in both scientific and spiritual movements. Somatic refers to the way the body physically experiences and holds emotions, thoughts, and spiritual energy. It is the body's response to inner and outer experiences, particularly those that might be unprocessed or unresolved. Unprocessed and unhealed emotions often manifest in the body as physical sensations or stored memories. To fully heal and evolve, we need the integration of the entire mind body spirit connection to release these blockages and continue on the path of lifelong healing and growth. This concept emphasizes that emotions are not just mental or spiritual, they are also deeply rooted in the body, and physical sensations tell us a lot about our emotional and spiritual states. Here is the essence of the mind body spirit connection. The mind, our thoughts, beliefs, and mental patterns often manifest physically in the body. Stress or anxiety can lead to tension in the muscles, digestive issues, or headaches. Through self-awareness, we can trace back to the thoughts or emotions that are contributing to these physical experiences and heal. The body. Not only does the body respond to the mind, it also stores emotional experiences, good or not so good. Trauma, stress, or unresolved emotions can become lodged in the body, manifesting as chronic pain, stiffness, or other ailments. Through somatic practices like physical exercise, yoga, mindful movement, or breath work, we release these stored emotions, allowing the body to heal. The spirit. On a deeper level, the spirit interacts with the body through energy. When our spiritual practices align, our energy flows smoothly, promoting physical well-being. However, when we feel disconnected from our spiritual essence, misalignment can create blockages or imbalances in the body. However, we can choose however you choose to view it. Spiritual practice plays a profound role in the mind body spirit connection. Do you think it's time to make the choice to release those unprocessed and unhealed emotions and step fully into your own transformation? Remember, spiritual practice doesn't just address old hurts, unhealed emotions, and paradigms, it transforms them. Spiritual practice is the stimulus for personal growth, which unlocks new levels of healing and evolution. So let me leave you with this quote. Honor spiritual practice because through mind, body, spirit connection, that self-awareness flows naturally and healing follows. And that is also from my Reverend Rosedale Jones. And so it is.
Wow. Let's take a minute to do a little centering before we really get inside. Let these words come through. And as you do that, before we do that, take a nice deep breath in to pull yourself into the silence and center yourself, and then slowly exhale. Because Jack Fowler is one of my greatest artists when it comes down to New Thought music. So his song In the Silence, it definitely invites us on the healing journey. And so, that said, he's saying in the silence there's release. He finds joy, he finds himself. But you know what? Think about release for a minute. Imagine holding a burning coal, and you may think originally or believe that you have to hold on to it, and the pain is part of you. You know, many people live with pain. They live with it and they keep it going, and they don't realize that this discomfort that's coming in them begins to build. And holding that coal is like an analogy to it. So these blisters start to form when you're holding on to this hot coal. And then somehow or some way, you get tired of that burning you, and you decide that, wait a minute, I can get relief through releasing it. And all you have to do is open your hand, and the pain flees in an instant. The longer you are in the silence, the easier it is to release and move on to the healing journey. So once you know how natural the peace of release feels, it becomes the place of safety that you're drawn to. You're becoming drawn to this because it's a habit to want that peace and to feel that peace. So are you ready to release your pain and begin the healing journey? Because if you are, it's your choice and it's up to you. Now, I just have one simple question about that. Is it time for you to start the healing journey? And remember, you are always at choice when it's your turn to start, but you may want to use spiritual practices that we'll be talking about all the time here at CSL Charlotte, because it is part of the healing journey for yourself. So wiggle your fingers and your toes. And as you really bring yourself back to where you are, circle your eyes around your space and be there. Be in your space as if you are new to it, and allow anything in your space to connect you back to the present moment. While I decide to take a gratitude moment. So here's my gratitude. Thank you, Groovy, for being our MC. And thank you, Dr. Wanda, for your incredible opening prayer. And then Horace for reading what I wrote, Unprocessed Emotions and the Body, because it truly points the way to the healing journey. And I'm going to begin like this because he started out when he was telling us a little bit about what I'm trying to say about these unprocessed, unhealed emotions. Because science says that unprocessed and unhealed emotions hide themselves into our bodies. But how do they do that? As memories. That's why we have this thing, let the past go, work on letting and releasing it. Because you see why? These emotions, they manifest in our bodies as physical sensations, chronic headaches, maybe fatigue. You think fatigue is just something mild, and no, but that's telling you something. Maybe even more serious things like these medical conditions that come from things like grief, depression, anxiety, like heart attacks, like cancer. All of these signals start somewhere. So our thoughts cause certain reactions in our minds, and these thoughts are signals, and they release these signals throughout us as pain. So those signals that's in our bodies, you know, our body feels exactly the way our minds are thinking. That's why it's important to train the mind in spiritual practice. We train our minds because we were raised to think a certain way. And the minute we start to realize that, wait a minute, I have control over my health by just thinking about something a little more pleasant. You know, the research I did this week was with Dr. Peter Levine, and he is a therapist, and he proved to us that trauma and unprocessed emotions are stored in the body. He shows that in many of his participants that he worked with. So what he did was created a practice called somatic experiencing. Horace talked about how somatic, but somatic means the body. Okay, but anyway, somatic experience is releasing trapped energy that's in, and how we do it is by body awareness, by putting the mind in the body. Every class I teach, I talk about the mind, body, and the spirit. And it releases the body when it's stuck in fight, flight, or what's that other word? Oh, freeze. When you don't know what to do, and everything's all nuts and everything, it's the mind that puts the body in motion or stifles the body. You know, it significantly reduces symptoms, this thing called somatic experience that Peter Levine put together. It helps people that have post-traumatic syndrome, PTSD, the stress syndrome, and also it improves emotional well-being, somatic experiencing. Remember that. See, somatic work becomes a powerful way to bring about holistic healing, and it does it within our mind, body, and spirit connection. You need those three parts. It allows people to understand how the body reflects on the mental basis and on a spiritual basis and on a physical basis. See, spiritual practice has been a powerful tool for so many years for creating us with holistic healing, creating our lives with better incomes, creating our lives with better relationships. Spiritual practice integrates the mind, body, and the spirit. So, what happens in spiritual practice is we gain insights, or you may call it revelation. But these insights are done through visioning, because when you start seeing things, those are, and I mean, sometimes you don't see it. Maybe you might hear something, or maybe something will occur to you, but that's a part of visioning. So, we got three pieces to the puzzle: visioning, discipline, and trust in the healing process. See, discipline becomes the root of any journey, especially on the healing journey. The question you have to ask yourself is, am I walking my healing journey now? Or am I sitting here saying, oh, I'm this, I'm that, I am sick, or I am, boom, not me. I am well. I am whole, right? But you got to remember, because when you answer that question, yes or no, that's when the discipline kicks in, because you want out of that. If you're a person who really knows that you can control your own life. Besides that, vision gives us the direction, like it's like a compass. It gives us the direction and it points us right to where we need to go. Sometimes we don't listen. Sometimes I get up in the morning, here's an example, and I say to myself, oh, I want so and so to eat. Well, that's because this vision told me to do that, but I can do this though. I can say, I'm not going to eat that. I'm going to eat this. Now, I needed that. So I've learned over the years to listen to what she's telling me in here. She's telling me to do certain things. So purpose keeps me excited, and it also instills meaning into my life. The purpose is I want to get rid of that knee pain, or I want to, and then it may say, well, you know what, today do 4 stretches over here. Whatever, do them. Or you can say, I don't want to, but then, okay. See, because without vision, we are lost, feeling inadequate, and sometimes you're just plain lazy. Secondly, this is another thing about discipline. Discipline keeps us moving and on task. So if you know that you have to get committed into your spiritual practice, that's your discipline right there. Because spiritual practice, the next day, it's going to lead you to a place to go. Remember, it's like a compass. Once you start that spiritual practice and you begin to move on to your next day, you better believe you're either going to want to eat something or you're going to want to call somebody. You're going to want to do these things. Do them instead of saying, well, I'll do that later. No, that's what it needs you. This power that's within all of us. It needs us to do our physical part so on the spiritual realm, we can walk down this healing pattern or healing journey. The tiny little steps that we take transport us through this major pursuit. And it's all because we're wondering, maybe if I, could it be? No, we're wondering. Because of that, discipline becomes, when you want to know how this thing is going to turn out, discipline becomes your daily commitment. Anything I want to do, I want to get into a new class, I want to do certain things. Discipline, sit down, do this. Discipline is that constant commitment to spiritual practice. Do I have to say that again? And it turns our problems into a better reality. Discipline, one other thing that discipline does, it bridges the gap. You know what? It's between our vision and our manifestations. If we add discipline to whatever our vision is, we get to manifest that thing that we're working in our spiritual practices for. And spiritual practice is not a big hoopla. It's just you writing journals, just discussing it to yourself, doing self-reflection, doing self-awareness. Oh man, there's a ton of things. Meditation, there's a ton of things we do in order for us to be into that discipline and to also get those reflections, or what else did I say? Revelations and insights. And the next thing, when we talk about trust, you have to trust in the process. Once you start your spiritual practice and you say, hey, I want to learn. For example, many years ago, I wanted to learn how to get out of that hypertension when they said, oh, your blood pressure, this and that and the other thing, and your cholesterol is this, you're this and that. Oh, I was bad 20 years ago, in bad shape. And so the beauty of it all was I wanted to meet, and boom, I ran into Pat Dre way back in the day. And and she's still in my life. She was a person that put me on the road to self-healing. And it was all done through spiritual practice. And the more she told me, the more curious I got. When someone spiritually feeds you, you want to give them a token of your appreciation. And I have done that several times. So listen, we are all here to give everything that we have been given so that our life and our body have no choice but to heal. You heal your life, you heal your body. Are you aware that you have been given every source of income so you can circulate it? That's the law of circulation. And we'll be talking about that. So clearly, if you are afraid to give part of your finances as a spiritual practice, you're not circulating it properly, so it's not coming back to you properly. Make no mistake, giving does not just include your time, your presence, and your love. It also includes your finances. Finances is all energy. That's an energy. I told my grandson that yesterday. Money is energy, dude. So he was having issues, and we had that little talk. I love talking to that guy because he gets it. So when you hold back on your money, you limit the flow of the abundance in your life. And then you wonder, wow, nothing's happening. Trusting the process, remember, we got to trust in the process once you start the spiritual practice. Trusting the process literally recognizes that the universe operates on the law of circulation. It cannot circulate back in your direction if you're not sending none back out. That's what the field does. So as you give, you create space for receiving. So giving is part of spiritual trust. I'm just saying. And once you've done your part, hey, surrender because it's yours. It's assured. Okay? But you gotta trust that your efforts are going to bear fruit, if you will. That's all I know. I don't know anything else. We are 100% in control of our lives. But the fear of, well, I don't want to, I can't. I mean, I have $10. I can't do $1 because why not? You are circulating it. The three pillars of the plan, visioning, discipline, and trust, are all critical pieces of the puzzle. And they all fit together for your whole life. You need self-awareness in order to release your healing, the physical, and your emotional being, and also develop yourself financially because you need all of this in order to prosper. People say, well, I don't know if money's all that important. Listen, it's up there near oxygen. You need it to live. And if you're not going to do the right things by it, it's going to run away from you. See, in the beginning, I didn't know why finances came into play with healing, but I had to trust the process. Because I learned over time that in doing that work long enough, remember I talked about that last week? When you do the work long enough, but see, I did the work long enough and I see so much better now, way better. Because you see, seeing, we use the word see, we use the word hear, we use the word feel, but I'm talking about seeing now as a metaphoric of spiritual visioning, spiritual practicing. Spiritual practicing, visioning is a part of spiritual practice. All we have to do is allow ourselves to thoroughly use our senses to see and realize this. Life is all in the process, in the practice. Trust the process. It's all about doing the practices. What? Long enough. Over time, this is what I learned. Even when I think back, I unhealed memories in my body that was causing me a lot of problems over the years. Last week, I told you that I sell spiritual health and wellness now. So I practice what I preach. I had to undergo so many healing practices through the course of my life. And I'm so grateful that I stuck with the discipline of doing them, of getting up in the morning and actually figuring out, well, how will I do it? Well, then I had to get a teacher. Teach me spiritual practice. Show me. Then I'm on my own. Then I became a teacher. It's what each one teach one. The more you know, you can give it to somebody else. And a woman teaches best what she needs to learn. See, we need to practice long enough. I have to think long enough of how much I want to do whatever it is I want to do, be, have. Long enough, what I want to do, be, or have. Long enough, I can't say it any other way. So for my personal happiness, I practice the law of circulation. You better believe it. And I practice meditation and self-awareness all the time. This is what I know about CSL Charlotte. This place, CSL Charlotte, is where I'm spiritually fed. So it gets my financial support, hands down, with no hesitation. My finances grow. And I taught my grandson Kevin the same way because he gets it. Like I said, the other day, he stopped giving to CSL Charlotte. I said, dude, let me tell you something. I hear what you're saying. You think things are not happening. Things are happening. You just got to do it with no hesitation. You know you made that money. Put it in. Because I pray for him like I pray for everybody else. I have no problem. But I'm not going to tell you that, well, you should give. No, if that's not your thing to put, knowing you got spiritually fed, you don't want to do, that's you. But I taught him what to do. And today, he's telling me yesterday, Ma, let me tell you something. I see all this here. I got so much different things happening now, and everybody's coming up to me. I got several boxes to look for my income. I said, that's what you do, son. You don't just say, well, let me hold on here. If you hold on here, it ain't coming out. So guess what? A tight fist cannot receive. I'm telling you, it's just what it is. But see, real quick, let me just say, there's another layer to all of this. It's not just magic. Trust me. This is what's going on. Quantum physics. Now here, quantum physics is just a science that evolved from regular physics. They taught another type of physics in school. I don't know what that stuff is they were teaching people in school, but it's nothing like this. It shows us that there is a unified field that exists around us. And here's the deal. Unified actually means one, right? But there are many great things happening in this field right now. There's this energy that's happening right now. And the minute I start thinking about something, it's going to attract to me because I know it. But see, if you don't go where you told to walk, like if I park my car in a certain place and I say, well, I want to get over there. No, park right here. Because for some reason it's telling me to park right here. I'm going to get out of my car and run into a person I haven't seen in 30 years. And I looked for that person and thought about that person. Hey, this unified field connects us. I'm well aware of that. I'm clear. Get clear that there's not just flesh and bones and coincidence. There are none. We create the life through this beautiful unified field. Think about quantum physics. It's the smallest, minutest particle, smaller than an atom. And so when we're together, we are getting, when we're in close proximity, we build a consciousness container and we connect. And that's what's happening for us right now in this moment. Also, did you know what happens when we're in our consciousness meetings that Groovy mentioned at 6 o'clock on Tuesday nights? Did you know what happens when we're in there? Well, in our meetings, we are practicing, right? So one of the things we do is we practice forgiveness. We also cultivate self-love. We also, we spend time with ourselves inside. It's impeccable. The unified field, while we're doing that, I go into it. You might not understand that yet, but you will. But you just got to do practice. Practice. That unified field will pull you in. Because then you'll understand why we're connected. Then you'll understand that we have never been disconnected from each other or the universe in general. Everything we think, feel, and do impacts this unified field around us, and it influences the collective consciousness within the consciousness meeting, within this particular meeting. Right now, we're sitting in a consciousness container together as a collective consciousness, raising the energy, raising the consciousness of each other, and raising the consciousness of ourselves. But here's the deal. We're not only healing ourselves, but also we're interacting individually with this unified field. I'm just saying. So in spiritual terms, I get so excited when I think about this quantum field. So in spiritual terms, this field aligns with the idea that we are all connected on a very, very deep level. We're sending this energy in and out all the time as we think. When you're thinking of being fearful about this thing not happening, guess what? It won't happen. Okay? When you think, whatever you think is what you are. So we have the ability to heal simply because of the unified field, quantum field that is in us, and it's extending beyond our bodies, and that's how we are causing wholeness. So the best way to begin the healing journey is, one, know who you are. Know who you are. 2, know where you are. 3, know what you are. Because this next song is going to introduce that. Because do you recognize that the fact that you are the place where spirit lives? Well, I do. And I use spirit as my pronoun for God. Now, whatever your pronoun for God is what activates the power within you. Once you activate that power within you, no matter how you look at it, you still must know who you are, where you are, and what you are as much as you can. Become more aware, self-aware. And so in the spirit realm, this is what happens in that unified field. The minute you say I am is what you become. Because when you say I am, you know who you are, what you are, and where you are. Listen to Eddie Watkins Jr. as he sings, I am the place where God lives. Listen to him. Has its being. I am the place where God shows up. Hey, what did he say? Does it sound like he knows who he is? I know who I am. I know where I am, and I know what I am. I am the place where God shows up. And if you can just start to believe that, you will help so many people be happier in your presence. People will be, oh my God, I just love being with him or her. Do you know, or do you see why Eddie knows who he is and where he is and what he is? Ha! He's the place where God shows up. Are you? What do you think about that? I am the place where God lives. It moves, it breathes, it has its being in me. Wow, thank you so much. My right hand man, that's Alan. That's what I call him, my right hand man. So this is the time, and I only do it very briefly because on YouTube, because I can tell the people on YouTube, I can tell when they're sending these messages that many of them are coming from YouTube. So hello out there. But listen, this is the time I talk about the birthdays. And see, during our birthdays, you may know your birthday. I don't. So you may want to jot your birthday down in the chat if you're on Zoom or down in the comments on YouTube. And we will celebrate your birthday and bring it up all the time. Let me tell you something. I never forget about my birthday. My birthday is the day I came to be. And if it wasn't for that birthday, I wouldn't be here. So we have to really, really be so grateful to that. But enough of that. I'm not going to keep telling people about that. But because you hear me say it all the time, celebrate your birthday. Let us celebrate it with you because we will. And you don't have to be within our midst. All we got to do is know your name and hold the high watch for you for your beautiful birthday celebration. Even if you sit home and drink coffee all day, you still deserve to celebrate it in your mind. So you can't not do it. And if you don't celebrate your birthday, then what do you care about you? You got to give that time. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to move on, but you don't forget to give us your birthday, just your day and your month. You don't have to write your year. I don't care how old you think I am because I'm not ashamed of my age. I'm going to be young forever. So that being said, guys, I want to give a big shout out and say thank you to my team. Like I always say, it's not a one-man band. And so this morning on our platform, we have our MC, who is Jerry Campbell Groovy G. She's our She's our spiritual harmony steward. The steward, meaning she's in charge of the quietness. She cleans things up when they get too messy back there. So she's the cleanup woman. and our open and closing prayer, Dr. Wanda, man, that woman has. Oh, you know something? She and I prayed together long times ago. Back, we used to have little meetings in her house. out in California. Oh, yes, I remember that too. I'm thinking we used to do just prayer work together, and we had fun doing that. So, yes, she goes way back there with me. But anyway, thank you, Dr. Wanda, for coming and being here whenever you do. And thank you, Horace, for reading that message that really connected us to the healing journey. And Alan, you and the music, fabulous. Thank you so much. You did it, man. You did it. And we know everything that you know because you let us know. And thank you, Mo. She's our spiritual practitioner, emeritus spiritual practitioner at that. And she completes all of our prayer requests that people send to us online and request a prayer. And she sends it out for us. As soon as she sends it to me, I pray over it too. And you have it in your box to read it as many times as you do. So before I got everybody. So before the last song that we're about to play, let's remember what today was all about. Today was all about us inspiring self-awareness on in order to stay on our healing journey. You're healing all the time. You're either growing or you're dying. So you're either getting healthier or you're not so healthy. But guess what? The choice is yours. So get on the healing journey. And remember, it's time to get on with it because nobody else can do it for you. So before we close out, you really come to love your new life experiences. So the final song for us to get on to this one is all about making a major decision for us to come and be on that self awareness enough. And the major decision is love. And the reason why it has to be love is because love creates self love. And if you got that love in yourself, I remember when I met Eliana, she said to me, I want my body. She just showed me in her demeanor, always being on time, always being ready. She wants in her body to grow with it and let her go. But that's a decision she made. That's a self-love decision she made. So listen to this last song when you think about it. Love is my decision, and it's all up to you. Whoa, it's our decision right here, right now. And as we wrap up our time together, let's make this practice to practice self love so we can get on that healing journey by any means necessary. Use the one power this week to practice to get these results on the healing journey that you want. So be that spiritual being on the healing journey. And while you live as a human on this planet, you are a spiritual being. Just be knowledgeable of that and accepting of it. Because remember, the universe, the unified field is constantly supporting you on your journey to heal your life, to heal your finances, to heal your marriage, to heal your relationships. So until we meet again, stay happy and remember to be grateful.
Okay, wow, that was powerful. I need to like recenter myself because when I get to show up, when I have the honor of showing up here, it's to plug in and recharge my battery. And my battery is just way over full. It's exploding right now. Great job, Reverend Rosedale. So right here, right now, let's settle down. Let's pull our spirits in and direct that energy out into the world in a positive way. I've had the somatic experience of being re-energized today. So I give thanks for the message channeled through as and in Reverend Rosedale this morning. As I speak my word for myself, I speak it for each and every person who joined today's service or sees it tomorrow or is guided to it on YouTube at whatever time is right in their life. I am one with that quantum field where infinite possibilities and potentiality lives. I come from that place and I'm surrounded by the energetic field of love, light, joy, and universal guidance. So right here, right now, I release any block to my good being delivered, pressed down and pouring over. I know that there is a change coming for good in this world, and it starts with me and each spirit on this planet. It shines through brilliantly. Darkness is only the absence of light. So today, the light of each of us has been lit. We have added our light to the collective, and in that way, we are lighting up the world. The world is on fire. It needs a change. It is changing. It is moving. It is shifting. There is only good spiritual freedom, beauty, joy, love, and manifestation of that right here and right now. I ask you to each repeat after me. I am the light in my world, and I share my light with everyone who crosses my path. I am the light in the world,
And I
and
share my light with everybody that crosses my path. Hurry up so I can do this.
let's do it one more time. I am the light in my world, and I share my light with everyone who crosses my path. And that's the truth, and so it is. Amen. I say,
Okay.
I'm.
All righty. Yay. I am the light, and I share my light with everyone that crosses my path. Thank you, Dr. Wanda. You said it enough for me to memorize it. So with that
Keep it
being
short.
said, guys, right. So that was a good one. I loved it. So we're gonna wrap. We have wrapped up a little prematurely, but that's okay. It's nothing ever wrong. It's
You
never
can't
wrong.
get rid of me, Miss Rosedale.
Yes, darling. So y'all have a fabulous rest of your week. And before we leave, let's make sure we say have a great one, but make sure you practice this week to stay on that healing journey.